that nothing was going to happen like this. Nobody was going to get hurt. No innocent people. He had put me in danger, me and everybody else. I was furious. He had every right to give me an explanation.
Who talks to the big boss the way you did?
Nobody does. But at that point,
How come he didn't bop you?
Scarcella started to like me after a while. So I became really, really, really close to him.
Knowing police were getting every word of their conversation, Delle Donne kept pushing Scarcella, trying to get him to admit that he had ordered Modica's death.
At this point, I was furious when I went to the meeting with him. I was mad, and mad like you would be mad with anybody, saying, what the hell did you do? What the fuck are you doing? You know, like, you almost killed 30 people. You almost killed me. Why? I want to know why. You said that Modica had to be killed, not innocent bystander. And the Signora Russo had to get shot. When I said that, he turned around as he was standing up and said to me, this is the bad life. He says, this is the malavita, meaning this is the mafia. Mistakes happen. And I said, in my country, when mistakes happen like this, people pay with their lives. What are you going to do? Peter said to me, oh, we'll send some money. And I said, how much money are you sending her? Oh, we'll send some money. And you think the money you're going to send is going to bring her legs back. And the worst part of it all, it was they used to brag about it. They were proud of what they had done.
It sounds really good.
Back at headquarters, police could not believe what they were hearing. They would never have been able to gather this kind of evidence without Raffaele Delle Donne, admits Bill Sciamarella.
How did he do it?
Just being who he was. He grew up in that environment. He's your typical so-called gypsy, typical con man. Lived the streets, worked the streets, was believable amongst his own people there, and he was unbelievable.
Really?
When we worked with him.
A good actor.
Good actor.
The police decided to push the envelope even further. They started supplying Delle Donne with stacks of cash to impress Peter Scarcella.
Peter was a loan shark. Peter gave out loans, so I started collecting money for him. Who doesn't like a moneymaker, right? Who doesn't like somebody bringing you $1,000 at a time?
It was police money.
It was police money, yes. Peter just thought, I'm making you money. This guy's good, let's keep him around. He started giving me more jobs and more, in order for me to prove that he was the boss and to prove this, I had to work my way slowly up to his scale. I got really close to him. I became his best pal.
So what was it like being the best pal of Peter Scarcella?
It wasn't very nice. That's one pal I don't want to be nice to, or him to be nice to. I mean, he's not your friend. He's your enemy.
You weren't afraid they would suspect?
Yes. Risking yourself every day and wearing a wire, you can get a bullet in the head for that.
But Peter Scarcella and his boys didn't appear to suspect a thing. Scarcella began to trust this guy, Raffaele. Police telephoto lenses captured hundreds of photographs of them, not to mention thousands of hours of incriminating intercepts that Delle Donne's hidden mic had picked up. But what gave police real insight into Scarcella's murderous nature was how he talked about the man who had betrayed him.
The most shocking thing was to see the rage on Peter Scarcella's voice when he was talking about Modica and when he was talking about certain individuals that had betrayed him. He took it so personal that Modica, here's a guy that I bring into my house, I take care of him, I give him help, I feed him, I do everything, and this guy turns around and starts creating his own crew and starts to take over and eventually probably backstab me.
The fact that Mike Modica was long gone, living in Italy, did not satisfy Scarcella. He still wanted him dead.
So Peter decided to put another hit on him. He decides, you're a nice guy, you're going to do it for me. So at that point, I had to prove the conspiracy. So I volunteered for the job.
You volunteered to
go to Italy and kill Mike.
The minute police heard Scarcella order the hit, they moved in. In the pre-dawn hours of April 14, 2005, police raided the homes of Peter Scarcella and some of his gang. The operation was over, a real victory for Toronto Police Chief Bill Blair, who made the announcement.
Police allege that this shooting stemmed from a dispute between Peter Scarcella and other organized crime figures, during which Peter Scarcella ordered the murder of some of his associates. These men now face over 100 charges in connection with the shooting of Louise Rousseau.
Police had Paris Christoforou. He was the shooter and was charged with numerous counts of attempted murder. Mark Peretz, the driver that night, was also charged with attempted murder. Antonio Borelli, another gunman, was charged with attempted murder and numerous firearms offenses. And the boss, Peter Scarcella. Police could not connect him to the sandwich shop shooting, but he was charged with conspiring to murder Mike Modica when he ordered Delle Donne to go to Italy.
The case against them was never heard in open court. It never even made it to a preliminary trial. After months of haggling, defense attorneys and the Crown made a deal. It was a very controversial deal. The gangsters ended up giving Louise Rousseau $2 million in restitution. And Peter Scarcella was sentenced to just 11 years in prison. He's eligible for parole in 3. Now this infuriates the man who risked his life betraying the big boss. Raffaele Delle Donne says he only did it to put Scarcella away for a very long time.
25 years to 12, that's half of the sentence. For a lousy $2 million, the government should be able to give $10 million to the lady and still make them do 25 years.
So how did he get away with it then?
Got away with it. Lawyers make miracles. Good lawyers make miracles, and he has the best.
There are no miracles for Louise Rousseau, the victim in all of this.
I'm the one with the life sentence. Nothing's going to change here. In regards to the restitution, I'd be very happy to give back every penny and more to get my life back. And I challenge any critic to sit in my chair and deal with I deal with and my family deals with on a regular basis, on a daily basis, to see. I'd be very happy to hand it right over.
When Mr. Scarcella watches this, and I'm sure he has a television in his cell.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah? What would you imagine his reaction to be when he hears you?
I know what he's thinking of killing me, and I think his next 10 years, that's all he's going to be thinking about, is killing me. But he's going to understand, you know, it's something that he started, the betrayal. I just ended it.
Business is business.
He started the betrayal. He turned me into a rat before I became a rat.
The boss may want his head, but so does Delle Donne's wife.
I guess this is a question only another woman would ask, but your wife now knew what you did for a living.
Well, she found out when I started talking to the police.
You had to come clean to her.
Oh, yeah. I had to tell her.
What was that like?
Well, it was hard. I mean, breaking somebody's heart, you know, and seeing it in their face, it's not easy. A person that thinks the world of you, and all of a sudden, what she thinks of you, none of it's true.
This was your high school sweetheart.
Elementary sweetheart.
Elementary school sweetheart.
Yes.
And her reaction?
She was mad. Real mad. So we split up. She left. But even though she left, I knew that she was leaving to be in a better place, in a safe place.
So this was a witness protection program. She got a new identity?
Yes.
New name?
Yes. I haven't seen her since.
2 years?
Yes.
And you haven't seen your children?
No.
Why didn't you become anonymous as well?
Why? I mean, entering the witness, there's no witness protection program. The program cannot defend you, cannot help you. I mean, going to jail and going to the witness protection program, it's the same thing. So I have my own witness protection program now.
What is that?
I'm taking care of myself.
So when it's all over and wrapped up, what do you do with a rat? Just let him go?
That's what he wants to do. He hasn't asked for any protection from the police. Ralph is a survival. He's a survivor. He will survive. Unfortunately, if he gets in a situation where he has 6 and maybe more people that are after him, it might be a chance that, yeah, there's going to be a bullet behind his head.
Raffaele Delle Donne is not waiting around for a bullet to the back of the head. He's on the run, hiding in places where his footsteps disappear. He let us catch up with him one last time.
It doesn't matter where you are. If you're running, there is no paradise, huh?
Nope.
It's all...
You can run, but you can't hide.
He told us to meet him at a gated resort. Locals aren't allowed in, and everyone needs security clearance.
Why did you pick this country to hide out in?
Why?
Yeah.
Because people get lost in this country. There's too many people. I fit right in.
Yeah?
There's no law here. Law doesn't work. Do whatever you want.
So that's how you were picking? What corrupt place in this world can I go to and just melt into the crowd?
This is one of them.
Yeah?
Nobody finds you here. They could try. There's 65 million people.
You're 36 years old. What future are you looking at? You're going to be an old guy on the run?
The way it looks right now, yeah. Those are the cards that I was dealt with, and that's what I play with. I can't change the deck now. I tried, but I can't. I just can't go back to get a normal job and do the normal thing. How? I have to look over my shoulders. I can't go to school at 36 years old and learn a trade. What am I going to do, you know? I got to survive. The only thing I know how to survive is how to hustle. Or else I won't survive. I'll die.
The only reason Delle Donne agreed to meet us here is because he knew the next day he'd be gone.